Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim Wakwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Sorry for any background noises, but Matthew chapter 18, verse 20, for where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And today's lesson is going to be the importance of community, strictly because there are lots of people who have a lot of negative things to say about brothers getting together in the name of YAHAWAH, and I want to kind of show how wrong they are in that. And Saki, also in general, people talking down on camps, because while the camps in general, like I can say, like IUIC, for example, even though I don't like them, I can still say that at the end of the day, like there is merit in, you know, having some sort of like parental figure or elder figure to tell lots of misguided jakes and whatnot how to live their lives and what to do and whatnot. And of course there is a place for that, even though because there was this one I think YouTuber or something, whatever, that basically has this whole program where he teaches, I think it's exclusively, I'm pretty sure it's exclusively young, like kid black or so-called black kids, about like proper etiquette and life skills and stuff like that. I don't know where he's based in, but I thought that was a good thing. And the thing is, again, like that guy's he's not in the truth or anything like that. He just wanted to teach kids. And you know, I can't I can't knock him for doing that, because that is a very important thing, as you have lots of jakes, you know, who either grow up effeminate or grow up without knowing lots of life skills and whatnot. So as a result of that, you know, these are positives to our people, especially given the fact that Esau literally sets stuff up for us to be at our absolute worst. And even lots of us suffer as a result of it. I'm not going to name any names, but you should be able to, but you would know some people you should know some people yourself personally, or people that you've seen in whatever situation that suffer as a result of the current condition that we're in. But anyway, continuing on, the first thing I want to get into is, you know, first is this Matthew 18:20, which I just read already. You know, basically this is what is referred to as the church. Okay, basically, because this is the quote unquote church, in the sense of when, you know, it's just literally at minimum when two people are, you know, together, and when two people are gathering in for the sake of YAHAWAH, in the name of YAHAWAH, whatever. Whenever YAHAWAH is involved, that's when it is referred to as the church, and it is in all technicality the start of a community, if not a community, if you want to call it that. And there's so much that goes into it. There's so many benefits that it's not just a matter of I'm just going to believe what I want to believe. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And then, like, sometimes, you know, you're not able to do everything on your own, and you have to, you know, you know, you might need some extra help, some extra hands and whatnot, and that's where the community comes into. And as a matter of fact, this reminds me, because I was searching for this before I got this, and I found this. This was basically a normal custom of ours, I think it's in not Exodus but Deuteronomy, but I don't remember the wording of it, so I will just settle for this. But this was basically custom for us to do this, so I'm going to read it. Judges chapter 19, verse 3. And her husband arose and went after her, to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him, and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, she rejoiced to meet him. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodge there. So basically, it was custom for Israelites, all right, for Israelites to basically give, if a brother or whatever, if any Israelite was traveling and they didn't have a place to stay, they didn't have no hotels or something like that, then they would just go to whatever Israelite brethren and whatnot and say, hey, can I stay with you? And then they would just let them stay with them. It would be as if like having a guest over. It was literally just that friendly and nice and all that stuff. All right, and it was a beautiful thing, because it shows, community. All right, it shows community in it, and it shows just how close that we were to one another, even if let's say we didn't know each other. Even if we didn't know each other, as long as we knew that, oh yeah, this is an Israelite, they follow YAHAWAH and His, then of course then they're good. And all I need to know is that they are a follower of YAHAWAH and His, and that was basically grounds enough for for a brother or sister or whatever to provide for you if you didn't need it, or for you to provide for them if they were in need. All right, and there was no like transaction or anything. It was literally just, you need a place to stay, and then you can just come in as if you were a literal family member. Which brings me to this, Matthew chapter 12 verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, which is this, these are Yahawashi's words now, who is my mother, who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold my mother and my brethren, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and my sister and mother. So over here, Yahawashi is identifying his his disciples as his family members, or the people that he considers the nuclear family, being the brother, sister, mother, and stuff like that. And as a result of that, this is where we also make the same we come to the same conclusion in viewing other brothers and sisters or whatever that are in this truth, that we know are in the truth, more specifically, as given the time that we're in, it's not as easy to make that distinction. All right, so that's why we need to. That's why it's important to know, is someone actually, a true follower, or are they set up by Esau, or are they just saying that, or are they just doing the bare minimum, or do they believe in a different type of doctrine and whatnot? They don't fully believe in the same thing as you, which there is a divide. And maybe some brothers might think, oh well, I don't care what doctrine you follow, I'm still gonna help you out and whatnot. Sure, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine in all good and dandy, given that given our numbers disadvantage and how there's already such a small amount of us. But of course, it's still advantageous for you to be more aware and knowing who you are affiliating yourself with, as there are some brothers, or I won't say brothers, but there are some people that claim to be Israelites. There are some Jakes that claim to be Israelites, and I remember seeing this one news article where this dude that claimed to be an Israelite went up and just for no reason shot up police. So you can't just be associating with people willy-nilly like that. It's not always the best thing to do. All right, so and Slaki also, even then I even saw, because I was sent a video by a brother, how what happened in Congress was that they were trying to outlaw being able to go out on the highways and byways because of just in general, by trying to say that we're doing a whole bunch of bad, we're doing a whole bunch of bad, when actually we weren't really doing much. And it's very like the very small minority of Israel, or of Jakes, or Jakes that claim to be Israelites that are going out and, doing some crazy stuff that we already have condemned, all right, like shooting up shooting up anyone, all right. And in addition to that, you also have people like Sakari who basically parade in open carrying, all right, and stuff like that, once again trying to get the ministry blamed once again, and by doing stuff that the Lord told us not to do, as the scriptures say, wise as serpents but harmless as doves. So continuing on, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 1, as like even Yahawashi also said, put up the sword in the place. And once again, like, these scriptures, these verses are constantly being dismissed by the like kind. All right, so Sirach chapter 12 verse 1, when thou would do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Verse 2, do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from the Most High. All right, so this is where, once again, where the community comes into play, where if when you do something good for someone, then obviously they might feel obligated to want to pay you back, and if not, and if they aren't able to, then that's when YAHAWAH is going to take over and either repay you back on behalf of them, with something else. All right, because there's been times when sometimes you feel like, oh well, just you helped a stranger out and whatnot, and maybe that you helping that stranger out, maybe they couldn't help you out, but maybe the Lord just through you some sort of help or some sort of reward in another way that you may or may not realize. Okay, but this is from the Lord and whatnot. I see the blessing that the Lord sent my way and stuff like that. So these are the instances where the Lord's just looking out for you and taking care of you when you think to do good for the children and the genuine followers of Yahawadah. So this is why it's important to stick to doing good to the community and your brothers and sisters in this truth primarily. All right, obviously you make peace and you don't just say fuck you to any random person, but if you can, try your best to keep it to the community. All right, the community of Israelites, not just an Israelite just because they're an Israelite, but an Israelite because that they are following Yahawadah. Next, Psalm chapter 34 verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. So this was another thing where you're going to have the Lord that's going to protect us, the Lord that's going to have mercy on us and deliver us from times of trouble as a community. Once again, if not just by individuals, of course, but again, like this goes back into Matthew 18 and 20, where it says, when you're gathered in the name of Yahawadah, of course, it's not just that, but it's also in general. It's also in general where you following Yahawadah is what's going to get you protected. All right, now, the angels are, the angels have authority from Yahawadah to be able to make stuff happen, to do certain things. Like, say, for example, something, I don't know, I can't think of an example right now, but if something's happening, then the Lord just going to have his angels, get in the way to interfere and whatnot and protect you and make things favorable for you in whatever situation that you're in. All right, James chapter 5 verse 14. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. So this is exactly a very beautiful thing where, once again, like, if you are sick, it's not this. The community doesn't just, help you out financially or just if you need something or whatever, any type of ways, but it's also through community fasting and whatnot. Not fasting, community praying and whatnot, where, you have a, pray for me, brother, I need this. I'm running low on this, or I'm having trouble X, Y, Z, whatever. Where you're able to just inform your brethren on whatever issues that you're having, and they will basically pray that the Lord has mercy on you, pray the Lord has mercy on you. And in the instance of sin, it's like in the instance of sin, that's when you should also be repenting, so that you may have your sins be forgiven of you from YAHAWASHI. All right, so it's a very big process, okay, but that's primarily focused on the community aspect, as this is what the topic of this video is about, where we constantly should be, because I don't know if most people, I don't know if this is a common thing for most people, but obviously people tell their family and whatnot, the nuclear, if not extended family, about any of the problems that they're handling, and it's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing with the community of Israelites, given the fact that we are supposed to be acknowledging each other as brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, I even remember talking to a brother, and he had told me about one of the family issues that he was going through. And obviously, like, it's primarily about remembering that they trust you with your information. They trust you with their information, their personal information, their personal troubles that they're going through. And that's where it's like maybe heck, you have some advice to give, you have some advice to offer you, or they just simply want you to pray and ask the Lord to help aid in their current situation. And so that's where the same way you would do for your actual blood family, that's how you should be considering them and treating them as well, where you say, hey, I need some help, pray for me, this, that, and third, and whatnot. If not, you do what you can to help them yourself. All right, both, basically both. All right, because obviously we're not always the best to handle certain situations. But continuing on, Matthew chapter 18, we're going back to Matthew chapter 18 and moving back a couple of verses. Verse 15, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the month of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen and a publican. All right, so this is the the procedure where you try to tell a brother that what they're doing is wrong. They don't listen. Okay, you get some more, and then when they don't listen again, you get some more, and then you bring in the community. You bring in the community, the slash church. Okay, Slocky, I'm not going to say community anymore. I'm just going to say church. You bring in the church to, which basically is a community, whatever. You bring in the church to openly rebuke them, and if they just won't listen to you, the two people you brought in, or the church, then that's when it's like, oh, this person is just a demon. They don't want to listen. All right, so it's just like what can you do? All right, there's nothing you can do, because that the Lord just made them to be wicked and not want to listen to reason or listen to correction. All right, as it says in Proverbs, where a fool hateth instruction. All right, roughly paraphrasing. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that it's exactly a phrase quoted like that. John chapter 1, Second John chapter 1 verse 10. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not unto your house, neither bid him Godspeed. And this is not, obviously, don't take this to a radical extent, but basically, for the people that are that choose to live their lives in wicked ways, or just ways that are contrary to what YAHAWAH did, that's when you should attempt to what's the word, abstain yourself. Now obviously you can't abstain yourself from anyone and everyone, because given our captivity, we aren't capable of doing that. We have to affiliate with some people that might just be straight up demons. But obviously, if you are capable of doing so, then that's when you should, try to abstain or keep away. Because let me actually get this so I can prove it. There can. Sirach chapter 12 verse, oh wow, that was just there. Sirach chapter 12 verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. So of course you can't be hanging out with some hoodlum or drug dealer and whatnot and expect good to be coming out to them. Then you're just going to expect lots of shooting, lots of drugs, and lots of terror coming your way. Coming your way for being affiliated with them. So that's why you have to be careful at who you are, associating yourself with. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWADAH, the bonds to the elders and apostles, the great millstone of Bible, and Shalom.